About a week before the immersion, I met Rita in yoga, our mat side by side, when our teacher opened class with her standard, "Say hello to your neighbor and tell them your stripper name." Rita had a feline quality that reminded me of Catwoman. She was lean and ripped, with a mask of black eyeliner and mascara. "I see you here sometimes," I said, "in the back row, pumping out crunches before class." She let out the flattered laugh of the noticed. "It's important to get a workout in before a workout," I said. "You're here a lot," she replied. These forced introductions account for my entire social life. Yoga filled up all of my spare time. If I wasn't writing, working, eating, or sleeping, I was in the studio. To see friends, I invited them to Mellow Flow class on Friday nights. My guests would often claim that the women at the studio flirted with me, but I explained these women were just being friendly. "When women are intentionally friendly to men, that is flirting," a friend explained. I wasn't sure what to make of this new information. Heterosexuals were so bizarre. But I refused to be that guy, the cliched sensitive boy with the half ponytail, creeping out all the nice straight ladies. A few days later, Rita sent me a Facebook message. She outed herself as queer, mentioned her ex was trans, and acknowledged my chest. After several people had inquired about my top surgery scars, I'd started to limit my shirt-off time to a quick change after class. For Rita, my chest had served as an enticement rather than an "oh my god, what happened" curiosity. Rita had also found my blog, praised my writing, and said she wanted to get to know me. A queer, hot yoga girl picked me up. This was a dream come true, and maybe even a testament to the power of yoga. By showing up to class with a consistent dedication, I had basically manifested Rita. Sure, there were red flags, her youthful, overeager tone, the TMI about her ex, and especially her online stalking. With all of the information available, it's important to practice the subtle art of internet stalking. I observed a predate maximum of 3 Google clicks. Whet the appetite and get out before sabotage. If you learn too much, things you shouldn't know will come tumbling out of your mouth. And who really wants to keep track of what's been said versus what's been read? Rita had clearly compiled a complete dossier on me. While drinking tea at an outdoor cafe, she referenced very old posts from my blog, and often shared something about herself in response. She even brought me her favorite book. So sweet and naive of her to assume that because she'd read so much about me, I would invest my time in reading her literary totem, Weetseabat, a cultish and queer young adult book from the late 80s. I steered the conversation towards yoga. I was eager to discuss the new philosophy books I was reading, my concerns about yoga subculture, and to share with her my experience at the recent immersion, my very first training. We had to teach on the spot, I said. It was only a few poses, less than 3 minutes, but I refused to try. I kinda lost it. "That sounds about right," she said. "It's not a training unless you have a breakdown." Rita had completed her 200-hour training at a lesbian-owned studio during a major life transition, the breakup. My assigned pose to teach the class was handstand. Going upside down, the fear of flipping everything on its head, I had a lot to say about that. Rita had no intention of teaching in the short term. Her training was merely a warm-up for more trainings. The depth of this practice seemed endless. I was just beginning to notice and articulate the ways that yoga was affecting me, and I did enjoy sharing them with Rita. I could have so easily left my afternoon with her as a pleasant connection, a one-time deal. Instead, I went home and read Weetseabat. Her manifesto was a bit too zany for me, but at least it was much shorter than Twilight, the last book I'd read for an attractive woman. While Rita had some preconceived notion of me based on my blog, I too had an image of her around the words queer, hot, yoga girl. In the Venn diagram I imagined, the overlap between trans-loving queers and yogis was a mere sliver. I didn't want to miss a chance to plant my stake in this ground.